Hello everybody, Annalyn here. Today I am going to be doing the one layer challenge. I thought this would be fun. I saw Lavender Town do it, and actually get inspired to do a lot of challenges from her, but anyways. Some of the techniques she used in that actually helped me to do this, and yeah. So traditionally I use about 15 layers, so this was definitely a little bit harder. It wasn't too bad though, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was really worried it was going to look bad, but it actually turned out pretty well, I'd say. There were things that I would normally do in my regular art that I couldn't do since it was one layer, but I'm still pretty happy with it anyways. I am drawing my character Azuli. I actually adopted her through a character trade, and yeah, I'm happy with her. She's cute. I usually use this reference just because it has the exact colors, which is really helpful. And yeah. I decided to use a lot thicker line art than I might normally do, mostly because I figured that would help so that the lines didn't get overly diluted from the fill tool. But I do feel like it worked with the style, like having the thicker lines made her look more cutesy, I guess you could say. And it was kind of harder to do some little details and stuff, but it still came out pretty well. Luckily, she doesn't have like a bunch of overly fancy details. That would have made this a lot harder. There were things that I wanted to do that I couldn't really do, like in the line art for details because of thickness, but it was okay in the end. I kept messing around with the tolerance level and realized that setting at 100% was the best it was probably going to get. So the reason I was messing with that is so that you don't get that annoying white line in between the line art and the coloring. Obviously it's still there, or not obviously, but it is still there if you look closely, which I used the shading to sort of help me cover that up later. I did expand the selection by 1 pixel, which did make it go into the line art, but it was okay because I just had to, edit the line art, which I was already prepared to have to do. I'm not sure if selecting an area counts as cheating for this, but I'm going to assume that it doesn't. But yeah. I thought about not doing shading, but I knew that would be kind of cheap and it wouldn't look very good if I just did that. But yeah, you can sort of see like around her arms and stuff right now, it's kind of, the line art doesn't look good and it's kind of fuzzy and weird, which of course is the problem with using the fill tool, but it worked out pretty well. I also wanted to do this because I do see that a lot of beginning artists usually have programs that don't really have layers, so I wanted to sort of try it out just to see what it would be like for me to not have layers, because there are times that I want to do digital art but I can't because I don't have my computer, but I do have like some cheap little app or something that I can mess around with, which still it doesn't have the features that I would prefer it to have, but I feel like this is sort of good practice, also so that I can be able to teach people who can't necessarily get the sort of programs that do have layers. There are plenty of free programs that have layers that are actually pretty good. GIMP is one for computers that actually is pretty good, and it's free. I usually try suggesting that to people who can't buy stuff, like Photoshop or something, or Paint Tool SAI, which is one that I actually did try using that. I got a trial on it, but of course, it didn't work very well on my computer, but it was like, it was just like, it didn't save very well, and it was really glitchy. But I mean, obviously that's not how it is for everybody. It was just like that on my computer, but I'd say I like Photoshop better anyways, because it does have a lot of features that that program does not have, and vice versa. But you can do a lot more stuff with Photoshop, and I actually definitely prefer it. Um, for the background, as I'm working on right now, I did rectangles. I used the rectangle tool to sort of make like little blocks to sort of look pixely. I don't know why, but I didn't realize that every time I made a square, it basically created a new layer, as you can see on the side there. And so I couldn't really tell if that would count as actually cheating or not. So I just made that version of the background, and then I was going to change it later. I don't really know if it would count just because of the fact that they are shapes and not necessarily layers that you could draw on. However, in order to be able to erase it out, like I was trying to do there, I would have to merge them into layers. So technically, it did turn it into a layer in itself. I tried blending it. I didn't really like how it came out anyways, so I just made a different background, and one that I actually liked a lot more. It doesn't I'm not sure how well the background really matches with her in particular. Sorry, my cat is meowing. I'm not really sure how well the background actually works with her, but I still like the background anyways, because it was kind of fun to do, and I kind of like the effect that it created with the blur and stuff. And I actually kind of created a sort of weird blur around her that I actually liked. But yeah, and so that's basically how she turned out, and now I'm just sort of editing the details a little bit, signing, and yeah, so that's basically how it turned out. I'm really happy with it, especially considering that it's only one layer. But yeah, so thank you guys for watching this video. That's about it. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, and yeah, I will see you in the next video.